solutions you can depend on. All right, welcome to Business Express for a Friday morning. Every Friday, we use the hashtag Tech Friday for a Feel Good Friday. You know what I mean? Very great stories to be sharing with you. My name is Victor Pepple. As usual, we've got Rotus Odiri. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning, Victor. Good morning to all our listeners, and good morning to our guests. So I have a party this morning.
Exactly. It's a full house. My goodness. And I mean, we're just talking right before the show. Why can't we? We can't do it. So if we can get as much as 10, so I mean, we go ahead and do it. Really cool.
Let's go for it.
Really cool, I tell you. So here, we have joining us Olumide Adesina, financial analyst with Quantum Economics. Good morning to you, Olumide.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us. We also have, Funto Ajenifuja, analyst with FDC Limited. Good morning, Funto.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us, Rotus, our moderator. Let's get it started.
Yes, indeed. All right. So there's a number of things that have been going on. WhatsApp now allows you to delete messages after 60 hours. It used to be 7 minutes, then an hour, 8 minutes, and now you can delete after like 60 hours. Also, you can exit a group, and only the admin will know. They're also making the way if you send a video to somebody, they can view it just once and then it deletes. And then also when you are online, you can select the number of people that can see whether you're online or not. You know, normally when they say, "Oh, Victor, why don't you answer my message? I see you're online on WhatsApp."
Exactly.
I hate that so much. Ethereum has been rising. Ethereum, the cryptocurrency has been going up. Olumide is going to talk to us about that. Netflix is trying out video games. Team Apps, which is a fintech company in Nigeria, just got a funding raise from a venture capital firm in the United States. The amount is undisclosed. So yeah, lots to get into. So, I mean, we'll start with Funto. Funto, what do you make of the WhatsApp changes, like being able to delete a message after 60 hours, for instance?
I think it's cool. I think it's cool that they're doing that, but I feel like, it's nothing groundbreaking. It's coming a bit late, especially when you compare it to other messaging apps such as Telegram, for example. Like, there's no limit as to when, you can delete your message. So you can delete after a year, 2 years. So I really think the timing is like the time frame is also very odd. So like 60 hours or something like that. Like, what's that about? Like, why can't it just be like unlimited? But I really don't get it. I don't know if it's that, they're looking for more things to roll out over time so that they can act or they can seem innovative. But I'm just like, for me, it's nothing groundbreaking. When I saw that these features were being added, I was like, okay, that's cool. Obviously, it helps with like privacy and stuff, even being able to like, leave a group chat without anyone knowing. These are the things that kind of, these are the things that kind of didn't allow users have control over their experience. I want to leave this group, but I can't leave because I know that so and so is probably going to ask me, why did I leave this group? Or, there are certain things like that, people want to send photos for whatever reason, and they don't want it to like stay on the platform. And the whole, like, when you delete a message, there's literally like there's that thing that says, oh, this user deleted the message. I think it's good that people will be able to send pictures that can just be viewed once. And then they have the the screenshots blocking thing as well, which is really, really, which is good. So these things are good for sure. But like I said, nothing groundbreaking in my opinion.
So I think they're only, improving on some of their features because they have the disappearing messages, disappearing photos already. They have that. You can decide if you want the person to view it just once. And then for deleting of messages, like Rotus said, it's already on the app, but I think after a few hours, you might not be able to do so. But extending for about 60 hours, some people would love it. After sending some messages and the person is not responding, maybe after 6 hours, you're like, oh, I've changed my mind. I want to delete it. He would not see it again, and then you take back your message. Cool stuff, really.
But why is it 60 hours? Like, why can't it just be like, you can delete it at any time?
Yeah, I get you.
What if it's like 5 days later, they're just like, okay, I actually don't, like, I want to unsend that message. Let's say the person, you message someone, the person doesn't reply, and you just vex and you're like, okay, I'm gonna delete it. Like I don't.
You should be vexing within the 60 hours now.
Yeah, some of us don't reply. Some of us reply quite late. So
yeah, some people, yeah, I know
get
those
that.
people. I know those people that don't reply messages sometimes.
yeah.
Funto, thank you. Funto, thank you so much. Olumide, you are a resident crypto expert. You know, crypto has had its challenges this year so far, but we've seen Ethereum in particular, you know, rising. The price is up. I don't know, help us with the price appreciation on Ethereum. Olumide, what's your take on what's been behind the rise in the price of Ethereum?
Yeah, despite the risk of mood sentiment across many markets, you know, the concerns that the Fed is tightening liquidity and the cost of borrowing going up. We're seeing risk on coming back, and that's pretty much because of the moderation in the US CPI. Then in the crypto market, just like rightly said, the big news is that Ethereum merge. That's pretty much in layman terms the movement from the proof of work business model to the proof of stake. And what it pretty means is that the proof of work usually had this consensus where miners were involved, but now it's more of a stake mechanism. And it means that it's going to be faster, more scalable and efficient. And you know why it's a big deal is that Ethereum plays a big role in the crypto market space, despite the fact that usually Bitcoin takes most of the headline. Ethereum has always been one of the utility favorites among many developers. You look at NFT space, for example, Ethereum blockchain takes most of those transactions there. And the fact that decentralized finance is virtually built on smart contracts, you understand why the sentiment around Ethereum is strong. So, you know, it's exciting because environmentalists have been concerned about the energy consumptions coming from the crypto market, and definitely that would really appeal to some. But I think price actions will tell you that right now the interest is so crazy right now. If you look at the open interest on the CME futures, you see that it outpaced Bitcoin for the first time. And also, you need to look at it that in the span of 8 weeks, the price has more than doubled. In fact, it's tripling now because it fell as low as 800 in June. And now there's pretty much over at 8,900. So it's pretty much interesting time. But listeners need to understand the risk in crypto market. This is an asset that had gone beyond 4K and pretty much is still, if you look at it from its peak, it's still down more than 50%. So it tells you that the market is quite very volatile. But, you know, the merge, that's where the whole structure is taking place. It's coming up, supposed to come September 19. But some developers are saying it might even come earlier, 3 days earlier, that's September 16. So that excitement and buzz is really making Ethereum investors happy right now, Lotus.
All right, you listening can be part of the show. Send messages to us on 0809-444-0981. We're streaming live on YouTube, Smooth 981 FM. I will take your messages in a moment. Go ahead, Rotus.
Yeah, okay. Fisayo was supposed to take this, but Team Apps, which is a fintech company, they've raised an undisclosed amount from Silicon Valley company in the United States. I forget the name of the company, but Team Apps is Nigerian. The rumored amount is that it was over $50 million, but I reached out to somebody there. They don't want to disclose the amount. They say the 50 million is wrong. But basically they assist payments infrastructure for businesses. So it's good for them in this period where tech stocks have been falling, although they've, as Olumide has mentioned, they are tracking equities, so they've been rising. It's good for Team Apps to hear that there's still funding raises that are going on in the marketplace. So good on them. But I quickly want to bring Funto back in. Netflix has been investing in video games recently, but there's been a bit of a lukewarm reception. Funto, why is Netflix going into video games?
Yeah, I didn't realize I was muted. So the main reason they are going into video games is because so Netflix has recently experienced its first subscriber decline. So in the first quarter, they lost around 200,000 subscribers. In the second quarter, they lost nearly 1 million subscribers. So obviously they're thinking, what else can we do to keep our subscribers engaged? So the games are meant to keep, their users engaged between new show releases, and also keep them engaged beyond when new shows are released on the platform. So that's essentially their strategy. That's what they're trying to do with the games. But in terms of the lukewarm reception, I don't know if you knew that Netflix had games. I didn't know Netflix had games. So, but apparently Netflix's chief operating officer actually says, they're actually being intentionally quiet, intentionally cagey about things, because they are still in the experimental phase. They're still learning. They're still trying to figure out what resonates with their subscribers. Basically they're still learning, still testing. You don't really know what people want yet. The gaming industry is so competitive. You have, Epic Games, you have Sega, you have Tencent, you have these massive gaming giants. If you're gonna come into the industry, you need to come correct. I would say it that way. So yeah, I think that explains the lukewarm reception. And Netflix hasn't really marketed anything yet. They're not really pushing it because they're still very much in that experimental phase.
So I saw this movie on Netflix, Carter, and it was just similar to a video game. I just thought I was watching a video game for a second. I'm like, what is going on? And then it ties to what she's talking about for a bit. I just had to throw that in.
Indeed. I'm a big fan of The Gray Man on Netflix. I've watched that thing like 3 or 4 times. That's another big film. Funto, thank you so much for that. Olumide, I think we'll wrap up with you because we have a few minutes to go. I want to take any messages out there. Olumide, why do cryptos track equities? There's the talk of whether cryptos are securities or cryptos are fiat currency. Olumide, what's your take on why cryptos have been following equities?
If you understand the investor sentiments right now, they correlate both assets, particularly growth stocks, as risky assets, and the fact that rather they use for wealth preservation, they use for wealth growth. So we've seen particularly tech brands and Bitcoin being tagged as such narrative. But I think in recent weeks it's been decoupling, because if you look at the Nasdaq, for example, it's out of the bearish market, and the surge from big giants like Apple and other names really tell you that investors are really looking at it differently. But generally, the consensus in the market is that these assets definitely have underlying, because they see blockchain more as a technology disruptive force rather than something of utility of value like what you see in these utility stocks. So and the risk that comes in the market, you will see those drawdowns. You only see them in growth assets, particularly tech stocks and the crypto market. So investors are really looking at their portfolio exposure in that regards. And conservative investors like Warren Buffett, Charles Munger, they don't see these assets as something to put in there. So investors generally see this asset as very risky. So that's where we see the tags, particularly the tech and the crypto market.
Well,
thanks for that.
Timothy has a message. It says, good morning to everyone in the studio. Just to add, with regards to disappearing messages, there are many deleted messages recovery apps and screen recorders that can do otherwise. My goodness.
Wow.
Zicolo is in, says, I beg WhatsApp should just leave that screenshot to us. Why is everyone talking about the screenshot thing? I love the fact that we can leave a group without the whole world coming to our DM to ask why we left. Cool stuff. Those are some of the messages that we got this morning. Thank you very much to our guests. We need to wrap things up here. Thank you, Funto, for being a part of the show. Thank you, Olumide, as well, for being a part of the show today. The show will come back next week, Monday at 6:30. But hey, every Friday, it's called Tech Friday, and we discuss very fun and cool stuff like this. Thank you so much, Rotus Adiri. Now, you can catch Rotus on Twitter at Rotan Quotes. Let's keep the conversation going. Do tag at Smooth91FM, and would love to retweet some of your tweets with regards to the conversation here today. Have a good weekend, Rotus. Same as Funto and Olumide.
Thank you all. Thanks a lot.